Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, August 1st, 2025 edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting in open source Kubernetes. At the beginning of, oh, yes. As a reminder, this meeting operates under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. Here at the beginning of the meeting, we usually like to offer an opportunity for anyone on the call to introduce themselves if you would like to, totally optional. I will start because I like to use this as an opportunity to explain what the group is. I'm Caslin Fields, and I am one of the co-leads of this sub-project, which is the Contributor Communications sub-project within the Special Interest Group for Contributor Experience, which I am also a co-chair of. But this group is all about making sure that folks within the contributor community know about things that they ought to know about, and also that folks outside of the contributor community know about the awesome work that contributors are doing, which we do through managing social media accounts, writing blog posts, helping with various projects. And so we'll talk about all of that stuff today. Excited to dive into it with you all today. Would anyone else like to? Oh, pronouns she, her. Would
There you
anyone
go.
else like to introduce themselves? Totally
Hey,
optional.
y'all. I'm Chris Short. Pronouns he, him. I work at a startup called CIQ and been around the block in comms quite a bit. So feel free to ask me any questions you may have.
Welcome, welcome. Anyone else? Totally optional. All right, we might just move into it today.
Great.
Cool. This is a very casual call, so if you have any questions at any point about anything, please don't hesitate to ask. If you missed the introductions at the beginning and want to introduce yourself later, totally fine. Just enjoy. Hope you enjoy being part of the meeting today. And I think last housekeeping item here, note taker. So we like to ask at the beginning of the call if anyone is up for being our note taker today. The role of the note taker is to follow along with the discussion that's happening in the meeting and take notes on it as best you can so that anyone who missed the meeting can follow up with the notes later. So would anyone be willing to try out being our note taker today?
I could do it when I'm not on the agenda.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
And I always ask first and then tell people, really, it's a group effort. We're going to hop in
I
there and
understand.
help you if you need it. But appreciate it, Laura. Thank you for being here today. I'm also excited to see you here.
Yeah, I withheld my introduction because I have an agenda item. So,
Understandable. Let's So our normal first item on our agenda is messages of the week, which is things going on in the community that we probably need to talk with people about. And it seems like your new item fits into that category. So shall we start there?
okay, sure. Um, yeah, so basically, so I'm here. Hi, everybody. My name is Laura. My pronouns are she, her. I'm here representing SIG multi-cluster.
Ah,
SIG multi-cluster is, I also have some stuff I can screen share, by the way, if that is a power that I can have. But right now
I
it's
can do
disabled.
that.
Yeah. Um, but we are trying to basically do like a user research survey. Honestly, it might be part of a larger user research like project that maybe will include other things, but it kind of has like a specific context right now. Um, Pavana Priya, who's also on the call, is a UX designer who's been helping lead this effort. So feel free to
mhm.
jump in if I say anything wrong at any point. But the reason why we're here is because we've kind of done a bunch of pre-work. We have actually like published like an initial version of the survey questions that we want to ask and got some responses from within the community. But of course, like user research is like 99% like recruiting people to answer your questions. So um, yeah, wanted to get a little bit of help and context about that. I have like a billion docs I can show you of like what the background of this stuff is, if that helps. But that's like basically the main thing that we're asking about. So quick pause there, but I will share the more infos if that's helpful.
Yeah, please
Okay.
do. I'm so
Uh,
excited about this. I love user
oh, good.
research, and I feel like we don't see too terribly much of it coming through, but I'm very
Right,
excited to help.
right. Okay, so first off, I guess at the end of this uh, doc list is that there is a survey, a Google form survey, which is published and people could fill out. This specific survey is actually second iteration, and people have filled out the first iteration, which has some like questions a little bit different. So like that's the context of what actually exists. Um, there is like this whole doc that's like a proposal of like what we're doing and why we think that we're doing it, which you can read or get into or share with your friends if you want to. But I will explain all of that to you right now instead, which includes kind of one other piece of context, which is that SIG-MC has been like talking about all of the different projects that we work in context of like these different pillars of things, because like sometimes we were talking about stuff in terms of sub projects, but that was really specific and technical. Then we started taking it more holistically, and here we were like, here's like kind of some more general buckets of things which sub projects may or may not fit into, and the UX like side of things was identified as something that we should like put some energy behind, which is kind of like where this like sort of came from. One more piece of context to put about that is that the way that we talked about the UX experience was very much from like a monitoring and observability, like what is the tooling or tool that we could build or standards that we could say that like helps people understand how to interact with their multi-cluster deployments. I also think that while that may be like the seeded context, there's obviously other things that this UX initiative could function on, but that was kind of like some of what set up the types of questions that we ultimately ask, many of which you'll find are about how do you like monitor and manager and react to alerts and stuff in a multi-cluster deployment, and also some basics about what those are like. Okay, and then the last doc that I want to show you is this is a doc that captures the first iteration and the second iteration of the survey. So like the actual survey, you know, you have to like click things and press next, and that's annoying. So this is like the actual questions, and it has some comments from both iteration 1, which is here, and iteration 2, which starts here, which is the one that's actually published on the Google form right now. So there's like a lot of chatter in here too that you can see like background of like how we came to these questions. You know, there's many different like opinions and pressures that go into developing like what these questions are, including how fast we think, like how much attention span we think we can get out of somebody, what we actually want to know, basic kind of like basically the equivalent of like demographic information, like how many clusters you manage that make it possible for us to like split up our data intelligently. So those are kind of like the categories of things that had to go in there. And in the end, we currently have something that's still like effectively 19 questions, which is, I think, not short as surveys go, but maybe okay as user research type things go. So that's the whole background on the survey. And as of now, we have like socialized it in like 2, I think, SIG MC meetings, like talking to people, being like, hey, fill this out. And that's basically it. And so we could do a lot more in terms of like rallying people up. But I think that that jump point and like how we like contextualize it most usefully, and like, yeah, maybe even at least a little bit of like, is our survey like cool from a whatever comms perspective of the point of view of the people here too, to go forward. And then we would like to try and get as much recruiting on answers as we can. So that's it. Help us.
Wonderful. So let's talk through what we can do here. So you shared the information about creating
Yeah,
surveys here, but you already have a survey created.
Right.
So
Yes.
we'll need the
right.
link if we're gonna do things with it.
Okay, I think
Um,
that. Oh, this is somebody else saying
Yeah,
something.
I
Okay,
put
here we
those
go.
in there.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right, I got it.
Thank you,
No,
Chris.
um,
I was like, I wonder if someone in our group did that. Someone was actually able
Yes.
to find the survey stuff. I also
Yeah.
noticed that the Cates.dev survey resources page said to use the CNCF SurveyMonkey account, which
Oh,
hasn't existed for a number of
a long
years.
time?
So
Nice.
let's fix that.
Yeah. Jeez. Good
Work
point.
item. I pinged that to the other SIG ContribEx leads. But these do have some guidelines, but I feel like you all have thought this through pretty thoroughly, so I'm not too worried about
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
following
not
the rules on this.
I'm not worried about that either now. It sounds like you just need us to put it out to the world.
Yeah, I would love
Or
that. Or
yeah.
come up with a plan. Like we can do some stuff, but I think even like the idea of posting to the entire like dev list, that while I think that may be within my power to do, like felt like maybe
Hmm.
there's some etiquette that I should follow at least. So yeah, that's even that, like we've only kind of like stayed in our little SIG-MC bubble, which is like an important group of people too that like are
Right.
definitely top tier of people we want to answer the question, but still I think there's a lot of folks that aren't there, aren't at the meetings or, whatever. So
I can't remember at the moment if dev is one of those mailing lists where you get caught the first time you try to
Yes,
right,
it
publish
maybe.
to
is.
it.
Maybe I don't even have
Okay,
the
yeah,
power. Is
yeah.
it just yeah,
You
You
have the
do.
power. It's just somebody needs to say, "Oh yeah, this isn't spam.
I see.
Go."
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I think it's moderated. I can't
Okay.
remember.
Yes.
But dev mailing list, I like that idea. Is there a specific time period you're looking to get answers during? Is there an end
Yes.
date?
Yeah, so ideally well,
Do you want it to end? Might be the proper
right.
question.
I think on the one hand, sorry, got a frog in my throat there. On the one hand, a lot of these questions are pretty evergreen, so there's that.
Okay.
But I do think there's like a concerted push that we would love to do before KubeCon NA, basically. So
That's
I
a good
think
time
that,
period.
yep.
Hmm.
And because we would love to report some of these results in a time when everybody has brain share on the thing. So that's that. I think in the proposal doc, we had like a really aggressive timeline that was like on the order, like this whole project was on the order of like 5 weeks or something. And it's already been like well over that in terms of even just designing these questions. But yeah, I think the most important thing is that we have at least a little bit of time to analyze before KubeCon. And Bhavana Priya, why don't you also like say some comments about that?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks would be great time period, so everyone have a chance to look at the surveys and they can fill the questions. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks are good.
2 weeks?
Yes, yeah, 2 weeks.
Like, just, like, we send it out and close it after 2 weeks?
Maybe
Well,
yeah, maybe.
I
so
think that
KubeCon's
till
not until November.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can leave it open longer, but I also think that we, at least internally, will need to come up with some sort of like backdate when we're doing like some analysis and stuff for sure. But I think if like, in my opinion, the most important date to get to is KubeCon. I think before that is better though. So like that's kind of like a last time. Yeah.
I would leave it open for at least 6 weeks is my initial take because, I think and send multiple reminders during that period because people will see it and then they'll be like, "Oh, I could fill that out," and then they won't.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then maybe you send another reminder and they do the same thing again, and maybe on the 3rd reminder, they actually remember to do it, and maybe they start filling it out and then they don't quite finish it. So, I think allowing at least 6 weeks for folks to actually get it done, especially right now, we're just starting August. I know
Right.
a lot of folks, especially in Europe, go out on vacation at this point in the year. So a lot of folks won't see it because they're out on long vacations. So
Yeah, I think I totally agree. Maybe I'm also on vacation with my family.
Oh, thanks for joining us on vacation.
yeah, enjoy
You
it. Thank you for spending time with us. I hope it's enjoyable.
too. Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe 5 weeks, maybe, because by end of the August we can say. How
Well,
about
I
that?
think I know at least one person personally in my org who is out for all of August.
Hmm.
So that would
Yeah,
give
no,
them 1
like
week.
there's a few open source groups I work with that are just completely done
Yeah,
for
I
now
also
until September. Yeah.
agree we need to leave some September time in there solely because of the way that I expect like vacation schedules, especially for like the European contributors. So
Yeah. August. It's
yeah,
a stereotype and running joke that all of Europe
but
takes
it
August
is like
off.
legitimately happening even to the SIG MC leads. So like,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah. So I'd say at least 6 weeks, maybe even 8 if you were willing to go to the end of September. Then you would have October to look at your results, and then KubeCon is in November. Um, but I think 6 is also reasonable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
comms, do you have any experience? I know this varies like wildly by topic, but like if we were to leverage your powers to like communicate broadly with the Kubernetes community, what like scale of responses could we reasonably expect? Like tens, hundreds, thousands? Probably not thousands, but like what are we even talking about? Is it like if I get
Um,
10 responses, should I like do a little dance? Or is that like, oh God, we need more time?
I probably will, but
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm curious if you want to solicit people for data at KubeCon or inform people about the data at KubeCon.
I'd really rather inform people about the data. I understand that that might be a
Got it.
valuable time to recruit people, but if I could choose, I would rather inform.
Got it. Okay.
I'll say we haven't
Um,
done a lot of survey promotion work in recent memory, so we don't have a lot to
no,
compare you to.
no. And like this is something that I would want to put some kind of like, hey, at least a weekly message, right?
Mhm.
Like put it out to the, universe kind of thing.
Okay.
Just to make sure it gets good coverage. But yeah, like I would say tens. Like if
Okay.
you get more than 50, I would be shocked.
Okay. That helps me like contextualize what to expect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Especially for something like multi-cluster.
Right. Right. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's yes, a lot of people do that, but will they see the social media and the mailing lists and
right.
everything
It's a pretty
else? That's
fragmented group, and
yep.
then there's like natural drop off, including something that like even multi-cluster itself has like some like how to say there's a lot of add-ons to like do it, so it
Hmm.
becomes a smaller reporting market, I guess.
I
Okay.
think that's understandable. So I wrote out some ideas here for what we should do with the publishing plan. I like the idea of weekly messages. I'm not sure we should discuss how
Not to the
frequently we
mailing
think.
list.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
frequently we want to do the mailing list. Maybe just like 3 messages or 4, 3 to 4 messages probably. 3 to 4.
Yeah, and like the reminders don't have to be long. They can just be, hey, friendly reminder.
This is
Multi-cluster
open.
needs this.
Please fill it out. And then we have our social media accounts. Contributors aren't really the target audience of this. So, like, we could send out frequent messages on contributor, but you probably won't get the right folks from that. I think,
Yeah,
like,
LinkedIn is probably the best.
that's true.
Like,
LinkedIn probably is the best.
yeah, because if we put out a message there once a week and it's different every week, we'll get some people to find it for sure, and they'll be like kind of qualified and everything else. I feel like.
And LinkedIn
Where
has
if we
been our
put it out,
fastest growing account.
yeah,
Gets a lot of
if we put it
attention.
out on like the main Kubernetes account, you're going to get some potentially either half complete or fully complete and inaccurate data.
Yeah, we also do tend to be kind of careful with posting on our really large accounts with direct links
Yeah.
to avoid trolling.
Trolling,
So,
spam, whatever. Yeah. The whole nine.
yeah, sometimes we direct folks to like the dev mailing list email
Mhm.
for the links instead.
Yep.
So we might want to think about, is there a different doc that you want people to land on that explains what
Sure.
the project is that would give them the link rather than
Yep.
giving them direct link in the social media posts?
Bingo.
Okay. I have
Or are you
another.
comfortable with dealing with potential for trolling from those?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a survey. The trolling would be very obvious.
Yeah, I think the trolling would be pretty obvious, but I don't know.
Mm.
Also, I will say, I think that we have the will to, like, you know, do some do the spam management. Like if the free text section says like, I hate Kubernetes, ha ha ha, or whatever, like I think we can handle that or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and yeah, if people want to troll something that almost looks like a real answer, then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell
I'm
you.
Then
just
you'll
going to
take
take
it?
that as a statistical anomaly. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but I recognize what you're saying, and we can do some of those strategies for sure. One question I do want to go back a little bit. You were mentioning a little bit about how the contributors are not the target. I'm wondering what our options are for like messaging something that's like, please share this with your friends slash customers
That's
slash
true.
whatever.
Yes, that's a
So
good
I
point.
don't know if that's like in the scope of like what we do, but I do think that this is the type of survey that like we could, that like people would could very valuably like do the networking for us to help us with and from
Yes.
the contributor side. So
Yeah.
I like the idea of putting out a message like that. How frequently
Mhm.
do we want to do it on the contributor accounts?
right.
3 to 4 times, like every couple of weeks, or do we want to do like weekly?
I feel like every 10 days would be fine, right? Like, so like 4 times over a 6-week period or 3 times over a 6-week period.
Cool.
Mm,
We'll add it to the 3 to 4 group.
yeah.
I have another thought. Um,
Yes, please.
uh, and this is getting kind of less into the publishing schedule, more into the content of like the messaging, but like, is this the type of thing that like you have or would want to have it be representing like Kubernetes, like user research in general, and it happens that multi-cluster is the topic now, or is it like multi-cluster is looking for things? The reason
Hmm.
I guess I kind of ask is like, like for how often these are, like, yeah, I don't know if it's like, if it came from a message of like Kubernetes does user research, and here's the one we're doing right now. And that like leaves some opening for like other people to like plug in and do some user research in the future too, or if it's packaged more like, here's this weird ad hoc one-off thing that's like on this topic, which it's not weird, guys, it's cool, but yeah, like
Right.
um, and then I think like I'm also kind of interested in this just because I think there's a possibility that SIG multi-cluster will also do more user research in the future. So anyways, this is maybe not the most important thing, and you guys know better of like
No, it's definitely important.
how the
No, it's really
messaging
important.
works.
Does CNCF do anything with surveying anymore, Keslin? Or like, I know they have end
Um,
user studies and such, but yeah, like I want to make sure we're using the right people to do this. That's my concern there. I don't think this is like a user case study thing. I think this is definitely more please amplify type thing.
I think it's worth using the excuse to ask the CNCF
Oh
because
yeah,
we haven't
absolutely.
checked in on those connections in a while. Like, hey, CNCF folks, would you help us promote this kind of thing? And on the question of the framing between
Yeah.
is this coming from Kubernetes or SIG multi-cluster, my opinion is that it's based on audience because contributors know that SIGs exist and users often don't.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So I would do for any end user account, for sure, it's coming from Kubernetes. For contributor accounts, we can say it's SIG multi-cluster that's asking for this.
Yeah.
But we could also just say Kubernetes there.
Okay.
It's flexible on that one, but definitely Kubernetes for end users. Yeah, and I think asking the CNCF if they're up for helping us is a good idea. We don't need their help for like creating the form or anything.
No.
But I think just getting the word out.
Cool.
Yes. Wonderful.
Okay.
So we've got a little plan going here.
Yeah. So like, how do we execute? Yeah.
Hello, contributors on the call. We could use some help. So a few folks on our call here just got access to Buffer, our social media management platform. We also, another thing that I wanted to talk about in this meeting is our KubeCon India social media posts. So we've got posts drafted for those. So if you're new to Buffer, you can help us out by taking those social media post drafts and putting them into Buffer, which I figured I'd do a little demonstration of doing a little bit later. So you can practice using Buffer with the KubeCon posts, and then you could try out drafting these posts. So most of our folks have access to our social media federation in like a approval required capacity. So folks can try drafting things. We could also do this in a doc. That might actually be better for
A
this
doc
since
might
it's
be
like
better
a
for this.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like week 1 message,
So
week 2 message. Yeah.
yeah, draft. So we'll create a Susan.
Yep.
Maybe we could create a spreadsheet, kind of like the KubeCon sheet, where we'd like describe we want this many messages for these accounts kind of thing. And we could also draft the email, just like make the whole plan into a spreadsheet and then have folks draft each individual message
Okay.
and get them put into Buffer. We want to do this fast. So I think by like next week, Friday, have all of the messages drafted and be ready to send them out.
Okay.
And so if we're starting to send things next week on Friday, well, if we're starting to get things scheduled next week on
Yes.
Friday, we'll
Yeah.
start sending things on August 11th.
Well, we can
then
send it whenever, right? Like we can schedule that all out and just have it go on like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. It doesn't have to be tied to this meeting, I don't think.
yeah, but I get the most done during these meetings.
I
We could
know.
use the
I
meeting
know.
as a working session.
That's good point. Sorry. Never mind. I digress.
Like we can schedule them all to go out, but I think
Right.
just like the part of getting them all scheduled, I think we could do in the meeting to make sure that this happens.
Absolutely.
And to make sure that folks on the call are supported in learning how to do this. And then that would take us, if we do 6 weeks, like we get all of this stuff started to be scheduled next week, and it starts going out the week after that. 6 weeks of that would put us the week of August 15th to 19th. So does that sound like a reasonable end date?
August or September?
Oh, sorry, September 15th.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm assuming you're
September
looking
15th
at an
to
August
19th.
calendar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I realized I was on mute. So if the first ping
August
is like on
11th.
August 11th, then 1 week later is the 18th, 2 weeks later is the 25th, 3 weeks is September 1st, 4 weeks is September 8th, 5 weeks is September 15th.
Oh. So September 22nd. I counted
22nd.
poorly.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'm with you
Thank
now.
you.
You're good. Math is hard.
This is why we work together.
Yes.
Cool. So
Okay.
yeah, finishing things up there. Question?
Yeah, I think in the surveys, Josh Perkins is also helping me on this one.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's usually the person that I point people to when they're like, we want to make a survey. The one
Right.
person I know who knows the rules for surveys in the community is
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in another meeting. So right now he's in another meeting. So yeah, he told me that
Understandable.
let them everyone know.
Thank you. That explains why you're so ready to go.
surveyed. So survey-like.
Survey ready. I think
As
someone is
far
looking
as
at
a
the.
sheet, like what we do for
Mhm.
Cube Compost, where would you like such a thing to live?
It's a good question. I can make us one
Mm.
real quick on like an actual Kubernetes
make it on
account
the-
because I'm
Perfect.
actually logged in.
Do
The
the ComZ
KubeCon one
thingies.
literally lives in my own account.
Oh God.
Yeah, separately, SIG multi-cluster is behaving poorly in that type of way because we don't have like a shared Google Drive. So we just share them with each other excessively.
We could fix that for you.
Yeah, so we actually need that
Right.
fixed at some point. I don't know that comms is the people to do that, though maybe you overlap in powers. So cool.
Yes.
We also need
Kaz
that,
one definitely
please.
does. Yeah.
I do.
Thank you.
Writing it down. SIG MC needs a drive. We kind of need to do. This is a SIG ContribEx thing. I'm a co-chair of SIG ContribEx
Right,
as well.
right.
But we kind of need to do a big audit of Zoom accounts, mailing lists. We've noticed some oddities with aliases this week.
Sure.
Oh really?
And
Ooh.
yeah,
Mm.
there's some weird naming with the working groups.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Inconsistent use of naming conventions. Um, so Zoom accounts, mailing lists, and Drive. The guidelines on like how to get those is very old. A lot of folks have like just had their accounts for a long time, and the leadership has shifted, and so nobody knows what they have anymore. And so
Mm.
like a big project would really be ideal there. Mario put it on his list to look into some of that. But noted. So I wrote down a note that SIG multi-cluster needs a drive. I'm also
Thanks.
going to put that into the comms leads list. Josh put it to my note that the case.dev website has an old mention of the SurveyMonkey account. He said, in case you missed it, we let our SurveyMonkey account go. Something of an understatement. That was a whole thing of drama.
Yes.
Not a big one really, but funny. Okay with dealing with spam if necessary.
Just taking some notes here.
Yes, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
We've spent most of our meeting on this, which I'm very happy with.
Right. Okay, yeah, we can
Um,
also stop talking about this and talk about
if we
whatever
think
else.
we have a good plan at this point.
Yeah.
Are there
It
any
sounds
other
like we have a good plan. Thank you, Susan, out there
Susan?
for the spreadsheet. Feel
No
free to
problem.
tag in me and Pavan Priya, DM us if you need some of our like contact info or whatever to like share on that too. As much as we can help with drafting that, I don't know that we have the skills, but we have whatever we have. I don't know. We care, I guess. So anyway, so we can help with that. And then yeah, I think other than that, uh, everybody's help with the messaging and the understanding like the schedule of like when that should really start is helpful. Maybe we can also kind of check in the middle and, you know, just update you with how many responses we have or whatever. And I don't know that we can materially change our plan from that or not, but that's, I guess, what we'll expect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I've got the Google Drive for Kubernetes contributor communications, which I believe yes, the KubeCon post actually does live there. I did move it at some point. So fun fact, I'll share it in the chat for everyone. We do have a drive for this team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who all can access it. We're about to find out because I shared it. But I'm going to create a spreadsheet here for you. And Susan, if you could help, if we could work together to make sure that we actually get this schedule implemented here on this sheet, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I can get at least the skeleton structure done this weekend. And then if you want to double check it to make sure I did it correctly based on what was discussed for the timeline, that would be fabulous.
Wonderful. SIG Multi-Cluster Survey 2025 is what we're going to call this.
Woohoo.
I just created a spreadsheet. Where is it? There it is. It's way down at the bottom for me. I don't know if it shows up for people in different ways. Let me grab the link to it. Copy link, putting that in the chat, and then I'm going to put that in the notes. Publishing plan is located here.
Woohoo.
I'm going to highlight that line in our notes because we're going to need it again next week. So, for everyone on the call, if you tune in next week, we will do a working session to get this done. Cool. Any last items, discussion on this plan, or shall we move on?
Bhavana Priya, anything? I'm good.
No, I think I'm good. We have
Okay.
a good plan.
Wonderful.
Thank you, everybody, for your
Yay!
help.
No
Yay.
problem. Happy to help.
Yeah, thank you for joining today.
Yeah.
If that was all you wanted to discuss and you wanted to drop off now, you're welcome to. You're also welcome
I'm
to
the
hang
note
out.
taker. I'm not leaving.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Thank you for volunteering. But yes. Cool. So we're going to move on. Welcome, Mario. Just saw you pop up.
Hi, hi.
I don't know how much of that conversation you got, but we're just finishing up a conversation about a survey that SIG Multicluster wants to run. We created a sheet, and we're going to do a working session next week to implement the publishing plan that we just came up with, which is right here in the notes.
Regarding Google Drive, we usually just add a folder into the Kubernetes community drive and give access to the mailing list. That's the easiest and fastest way. That's at least what I did yesterday with
For sharing the survey itself.
for a place for SIG Multicluster to have stuff.
Oh, the community. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you can also put the survey there, and the mailing list can basically manage it, or the leads can manage it. It depends on the rights management that you want. I learned a ton of stuff of creating a working group in the last.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So you would recommend going the community drive route rather than having a specific SIG drive? I wonder how many SIGs actually have a drive.
I don't think many SIGs have a drive, because I see a lot of folders in the community drive.
That makes sense. Can I find the community drive? Let me see if I can find that for you real quick, because that is something that I want to add to this before we move on. I'm pretty sure I have it bookmarked somewhere.
There it is.
You find it? Nice. I guess you did use it recently.
I have started.
I'm going to do the same. Oh, yeah.
For example, our SIG contribute experience also have a folder in there, but we also have a separate drive. That's the only thing that is weird. So some SIGs have their own drives.
Got it. So do you have access to that, Laura? Shall I create a drive for you real quick right now? A folder?
Yeah. I don't know. Give me a folder. If you have it open, give me a folder or make a folder, and then we will figure out if I can access it.
And then we basically add SIG Multicluster as
click in the drive.
The rights that you give SIG Multicluster is.
Let's find the SIG Multicluster
Content manager.
list.
Content manager? Is that what you said?
Content manager. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Community, SIG
Oh, I see.
multi-cluster, contact mailing list. This one is Kubernetes SIG multi-cluster.
Fancy.
We were discussing that the working groups are inconsistent with the use of Kubernetes at the start of it, which is unnecessary because these days all of the mailing lists are on Kubernetes.io. So
Right.
like it's pretty obvious
Yeah.
that they're all Kubernetes.
Fun fact, Catherine, this all also resolves itself because we did it wrong when we created the mailing list, because we automated the creation of mailing lists. I need to update the documentation. I updated everything yesterday. How to
That would explain why I've never done it.
Yep.
Yeah, because
exactly.
it's a pull request into Kubernetes/kds.io.
Okay. Well, at least in so doing, we learned that there's this naming inconsistency that we should probably look into.
But I will update kds.dev because also Zoom admin and Zoom account creation is wrong. And most of the Zoom admins on kds.dev are no longer Zoom admins.
Would you, SIG multi-cluster folks, would you like me to send a notification here? It's like I'm creating a thing. So it's like, do you want to send a notification that you're sharing this with people? Do you want me to send a notification to the SIG multi-cluster mailing list? Okay.
Do it.
Now have a folder in the Kubernetes community drive. You can use this folder to store and share documents related to your SIG. This is particularly inspired by your current user research survey project.
Perfect.
All right. Only recipients with full Google accounts can be made content managers. Try sharing with a different role.
Oh, so it has to have a
Rejected.
Google account under that specific email address. That's kind of lame.
But it works for the other mailing list. What is the email address for SIG multi-cluster?
I can make it a contributor, which I think makes sense.
Yes.
Content manager is probably for the leads.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
contributor
that makes sense, I guess.
for the rest
Yeah.
of the list. It says that it's external to CNCF Kubernetes, who owns the item. Gonna share that anyway.
Okay.
All right, so you now have a drive, which is here. Put that link in the chat, and I'm putting it in the notes. And I'm gonna put that here. Or right here.
Okay. Yeah, right now it says that I need access, but that I'm not on the lead. Like I'm not a sub one of the leads. So maybe I'll try it with my personal account because I'm on my work account right now, and that might be different too.
You need to be on the mailing list. So that's the most
I am on the
important
mailing
thing.
list on both of my personal
Okay.
and my work account. So that's why I'm kind of surprised that I don't see the access
Yeah,
right
that's weird.
now.
Huh.
FYI. We don't have to do all
Thank
this right now.
you.
Sorry.
This is
But-
great though. Yeah.
Okay.
I think is dev. Wait a second. Did we add dev at?
There are a
Ooh.
couple other updates that I want to get to, and we have 10 minutes left.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Jeez.
Thank you.
So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. But thank you very much for being here and asking these questions. I'm glad that we're making progress. So the
Yes.
other updates and big wins, I don't think there are any other notes in here. Before we get to those, let me add one thing to updates, things that we should update ourselves on. Election. Now that the election officers were confirmed, at least the last time that we met, So we should check in to see if they have a timeline yet. Let me highlight that as a thing that we need to look into. Then the next thing was KubeCon post drafts. They look good. Let's work on getting them added to Buffer. Here is the link. I thought I put that in there, but I guess I didn't. To the KubeCon posts for Kubernetes contributors. Well, actually, it's not even for @Kate's contributors anymore. I should change that now.
Mm.
It's been a long time that we've had other accounts. So, Laura, you're still sharing your screen. If I share my
I can
screen,
stop.
I can
I probably don't
show
have
the.
the proper perms.
I think you should. This sheet is open to everyone because our goal with this whole. Why is this stuck here? Hopefully you all can't see that. There's like a box there for schedule LF
I
events.
do see the
for me.
box.
What is
Yeah,
this?
I've
Oh,
got.
I guess it's.
Oh, it's a hover. Yeah.
It's hover of the link. That's why. Anyway, this sheet is open to anyone because we really want to encourage folks to contribute by just writing a little post about KubeCon. That's the whole reason that we run this project, really. Because looking at the stats, they don't get all that many views, but they're still
Oh.
very important.
Mhm.
Actually, I haven't seen the stats on exactly how these do. I just know that they don't show up in the top posts, which is not surprising.
That's not surprising. No.
But having consistent posts and projects is really important for having an active account. So it still serves a very important purpose for our social media standing. So I reviewed all of these that exist. And I think we have pretty good coverage, honestly, of what's going to be happening at the event. I'd be fine even if this was all that we had, but there are still quite a few topics that we could use social media posts on if you would like to contribute some. This starts next week. So yeah, let me know if you add anything to this because otherwise it probably won't get scheduled.
Nice.
So let's talk about how to schedule these real quick. So Buffer, I don't appear to be logged in. Oh, yes, I am. So I think I showed folks this is what Buffer looks like. Several of you got access recently. If you're interested in helping out with this project and you don't have access, let me know and I can fix that for you. I have full access, so my UI is a little bit different from what you'll see, but I'll try my best to show you roughly what needs to happen here by scheduling one of these posts. So I'm going to grab the first one here. This is meant to be a LinkedIn post about KubeCon India. So I could click new post here or new up here. I usually click the one in the upper right because it's more visible on more different pages. So I want to create a new post. It asks me to select which channels I want to make the post for. I'm going to pick LinkedIn. I'm going to paste the contents of the that cell in here. And because I just copied the cell, it has quotes around it, which I don't want. So I'm going to get rid of those. One day until KubeCon India. Kicking off tomorrow. Badge pickup is at this time. Learned from this. Apparently, Hyderabad is the world's biryani capital.
Sorry, what? Biryani?
Biryani, yeah.
Oh, what is that? Sorry, I gotta Google that.
It's an Indian, like I kind of think of it as like Indian fried rice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that is. Never mind. Sorry. That's good stuff.
Biryani. Yeah, I searched for that and yeah, Hyderabad,
Mm-hmm.
biryani capital of the world, apparently. So
Woo.
I'm going with that. I think it's cool. Stay tuned for more updates on the Kubernetes community and check out the full schedule with a bunch of hashtags. So I think this looks good. And so I want to schedule it. So I have the ability to schedule. For you all, it will look different because your account permissions are different. Arpit, you have a hand up.
So like just want to ask like if any one of you is coming to KubeCon India.
Ah.
going out on Monday, Caslin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
I will not be at KubeCon India. Sorry.
I will not be. This is supposed to be August 5th at 8. This is for IST. Actually, let me just back this one out and fix the time zone. So I'm going to delete this one. So to make all of this easier for everyone, I'm going to change the time zone, which is still Tokyo time, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Whoops.
Well, whoopsie.
Things have been going out at odd times lately, probably.
Well, it's not odd. It's just 13-hour difference. I mean, that could be good for some regions,
True.
like Asia.
Interesting test. IST.
You have it
I
right
think you
there.
need a
There was
typo.
Kolkata time on.
Kolkata, is that the right
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the correct one.
Something and a half. Yeah.
Kolkata. So I just changed that. That should change it for all channels. I had a lot of trouble with that with Tokyo. So that should mean that you can now, whoop, I just have World's Biryani Capital copied. I'm going to actually click into the spreadsheet cell this time so that I don't get the quotes. Get rid of the new line at the bottom. Oh, next post. They changed this UI. I want to set date and time. And I want to set it to the 5th. We want to go with, I think it was 8 a.m. local time. Is that right?
Looks right to me.
8 a.m. local time. Cool. So I'm going to apply that scheduling, which apparently is over here in the bottom left of this menu now. Hopefully folks can see that okay. Here is where you just determine when to post. How do you change it to... anyway. Interesting. And then I'm just going to hit schedule post. So here I can see it. August 5th at 4:30 a.m. Kolkata. That's not what I was going for. So I think it takes a little bit for the time zone thing to catch in. Yeah, this is still in Asia.
Oh. Well, if it's been scheduled, let's view it real quick. See what.
View it?
There's a
link
it is in the pop-up thingy.
Oh. Link in the pop-up?
Top right.
Top right.
View post. No, don't exit. View post. There you go.
Oh.
So doesn't tell you the time.
Oh, now it says 4 p.m. America, Los Angeles.
Oh, great.
Incredible.
Buffer has some issues with this.
Yeah, time zones are hard, but they made it harder.
This is the hardest part of doing these posts. So I'm going to go through what I had to do for Tokyo is go through to each individual account and make sure that it's set to the correct time zone.
Good Lord.
So I'm going to do that.
I can do that, and you can just write. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that'd be great. So let me see Japan time to IST 8 a.m. No, the other way.
The time difference is about 3.5 hours.
Is it? 8 a.m.
Yeah.
IST2. So I need to set this to 11:30 a.m. with the way that it's behaving right now. So double check that your thing is set to the correct time for the correct time zone. Yeah, so this says that it's set for 11:30 a.m. Asia, Tokyo. So that should go out at the correct time. And even if the time zones update later, here, you say Tokyo. Let's not do that.
Well, I'm about to hit change time zone on the first account, and I'm curious if I need to do that now.
Just do it.
Okay, fine.
It's not like you're going to mess it up, right?
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, so I just changed it for LinkedIn. It now shows as 8 a.m. Kolkata. So you can see that even though
Nice.
it scheduled it in the wrong time zone, if you get the conversion right, it'll still be at the correct time. It'll keep the universal time
Hopefully. Time
when
will
you
tell.
change the time zone. That is what it seems to do. But yes, thank you for going through and changing the time zones. So
Nope.
now that you've seen how to do that, if you have access to Buffer, please go in and try out grabbing one of these and scheduling it in Buffer. If more than one of you sends an approval or something, we'll work that out on our end. But try to note that you have scheduled it. There's a box here. Is the post scheduled? And mark that to yes when you've scheduled it. Hopefully a lot of folks won't be working at the same time so that we don't have race conditions. But that's how it works. Any questions about Buffer? We are a minute over. And there's one other item that I wanted to get to. I'll just do that real quick. Arpit, apologies for having you at the end right after time. But you have a steering spotlight blog post that's ready for review as a pull request. Did anybody actually get to proofread that? I know some folks wanted to proofread some things.
Yep, I did it
I
before it went
guess
up.
Susan, yeah,
Yay!
Susan
Thank
did
you,
that.
Susan. I love this. I'm so excited for the steering posts. It's also excellent timing, actually, because the election process is actually just starting.
That's what I'm
And
talking
if
about.
Amazing.
I can caught up with the steering at Coupon India, I will record something with them.
Oh, nice. Yes, I love that
Nice.
idea.
Awesome.
I'm going to
So-
let Josh Burkus know that this is happening. Actually, could someone find me the election officers real quick? Arpit, what were you going to say?
I was going to say something.
Oh,
A very brief comment. I did a very superficial review in terms of adding some links and stuff like that, but not more than that. That's why it's still tagged as a work in progress. So only after we get a bit more eyes in there to fix some things that might still be in need of correction will the flag be removed. The actual date, I've scheduled it tentatively for 2 weeks from now or something like that, but that's always something that we can change.
I like that. We might get feedback from the election officers about when they want to schedule it.
Yes. I dropped a link to the officers,
Thank
whatever
you.
that thing's called, heading. Yeah.
So it's Christoph, Nina, and Sriram.
That's what I'm talking about. Go Sriram, go.
Comms representation. Christoph Blecker. What? C. Blecker? Is that what his?
Pretty
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Boom. Just because I know it. I don't know what Nina's GitHub handle is.
Uh-oh.
Sriram, I should have somewhere. Yeah. If I start typing Nina.
I'll find it.
This is just about the process of creating election officers. Yeah, if you could find Nina, I want to tag them all in this issue for their feedback on timing. You find
There
it?
you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The comms team has an interview with the current steering committee that is ready to go out as a blog. Please review and let us know if you have a preference on when you want this to be published. Current target is, what is it? 2 weeks from today? What is the exact target, Frederico?
I can't remember. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
August, the week of August 11th, probably.
Yeah, I think it's the 14th of August,
14th.
but
I'm just going to go with that and put in a comment.
I'm checking.
Okay. I think I can edit comments
Yeah,
if needed.
it's the 14th of August.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Arpit, for getting that done. I know that that's a long one, but the timing is going to work out perfectly. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. We are 6 minutes after, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap up. But I will ask any beyond last minute items that folks want to make sure are on the recording.
Hey, I had a quick question on
Yes.
NOC, NCO, that what
Yes.
are we doing this month, August month?
Right. You asked already about that, and then I didn't respond to you. I apologize.
Very busy.
Yeah, it's been a bit crazy lately.
Mhm.
I think what we discussed last time in the meeting was if you want to run the actual meeting, but let's work together on getting the like an issue created, getting some actual comms together. We're going to use next week's meeting. Maybe we should make this a monthly thing. Next week's meeting is going to be a working session on
Nice.
social media
I like that.
comms. Yeah, I like that too, actually. Next week's meeting is going to be a working session on social media comms, so we can get some of the comms ready for new contributor orientation then. How close are we if we do that, though? Friday. This is August 1st. And the
We are
next new
right.
contributor.
12th is the day that.
19th is the date, actually.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know why yours is like a week off.
No, apparently, second week of the month, right? Or third week?
Third week, third
Oh,
Tuesday.
interesting. Okay. Got it. Okay, we have sufficient time to work on it.
Cool. August 19th. So if we do that on August 8th, then we've got a good week there. That should be really good timing, I think. So let's add that to the agenda for next time. I'm going to go ahead and put that into our notes doc that our next meeting will be a working session.
Thank you.
Thank all of you for being here today and for contributing to our group. Social media working session for multi-cluster survey and an NCO. Because I guess all of the KubeCon India posts will have already gone out at that point.
Maybe,
Please help
yeah.
us get those scheduled. Did you manage to go through each account and update the time zone, Chris?
Yes. Totally did.
So hopefully you will not encounter time zone issues when you schedule these. It should be you just look at the time that's listed in the sheet, put it in buffer that way, and it will be at the correct time. All right. Thank you so much for joining today, everyone. Last call. We're 10 minutes over. Any items that folks want on the recording? All right. Thank you for joining today. And we'll say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. Bye, YouTube.
Hasta luego, YouTube.